53 miles northwest of Dallas-Fort Worth, you will find not just a typical country town called Aurora, Texas. In fact, Aurora does have a history that most of us may not have been aware of until today. On a very early morning back in 1897, the citizens of Aurora awoke to something that they've never heard before, and that was a rumbling in the sky. Well, as they went outside to investigate, they saw a cigar-shaped object hurtling through the sky. What happened next amazed them. It made contact with a windmill, which caused it to crash and burst into flames in the field near their homes. Now, obviously, the media was not what it is today, so the reports are from eyewitnesses is that they went out and started sifting through the debris. What they found within that debris shocked them. They found a pilot, and witnesses said that pilot was not of this world. They wanted to get on with their lives, and so what they did was they took this pilot and buried him in the nearby cemetery. Now, even though the gravestone that was originally placed on the gravesite was stolen back in the early 1970s, what you're looking at here is what it currently looks like as of today. Ladies and gentlemen, what you are about to witness is truly groundbreaking. We at Close Encounters Paranormal have made contact with this alien pilot, commonly referred to as a Ned by the locals back in the late 1800s. And for that app, because it truly is amazing. And what we did was we turned that on and we started hearing some kind of strange sounds coming through, and we're gonna use another device here just shortly. But what started coming through is, and hello Stephanie, thank you so much for joining us here, and as we're coming live from Aurora Cemetery in Aurora, Texas. And what we did was, with this device, we started hearing some really unidentified language, like some clicking noises and things, and it almost sounds like that stereotypical alien language that you hear in some of the movies and whatnot. Obviously, we can't prove that as paranormal, so what we did was Sharon actually pulled out this device here and this pendulum. And let me tell you something, we got some great conversations with Ned. And what we found out, and we're going to be going and asking some more questions, but we wanted to give you just a catch-up of what actually happened. He did confirm through a series of yes and no questions, and then also started spelling out some words that yes, he is indeed buried here in this site, and that his craft, we asked specifically, where is his craft and does he know where it is? He spelled out that it is now in Roswell. He completely spelled out the Roswell.
And twice now, when you've been recapping, he's answering yes again.
He's answering yes again when that pendulum is kind of moving left to right that you can see from your screen. That is the yes answer as she's asking. So while we're doing this, we've gotten a really great response from him. We're kind of keeping a watch on everything that's happening around the cemetery. We had one of the maintenance men from the same cemetery come through and said that they were getting ready to lock the doors. And so we thought we may have to end this a little bit early, but we kind of begged and pleaded, and we are able to stay in here, but we did close the gate to the cemetery, as you can see here, so no one can get in or out. So, including us for the moment, So, good evening, Jessica. Thank you for joining us. So while we're here, our claim to fame is we are here taking you live with us right on location. So just as last week, as Sharon did down in San Antonio, ask your questions. If you want to talk to Ned, and we're going to continue to go around this cemetery and pull out an SLS camera and see if we get any figures showing up on that. But in the meantime, we are making contact with Ned, and he was the pilot from that UFO that crashed in 1897. And so ask your questions. ask your questions. We're going to repeat them.
Ned's answering yes.
Ned's answering yes. So he is willing to, this is probably the first time, because not many people have been out to investigate this, and now he's able to get his voice heard. So feel free to ask questions. We're going to continue on, and as I get these questions, I'll be more than happy to ask, so you are part of our investigation with us with Close Encounters Paranormal. So Ned, did they bury you here after they examined you? Did they do any type of experiments with you?
Yes.
The answer is yes. All right, now it's circling again, so now it's going back. That's the neutral response until we ask another question.
Excuse me, I had to change how I was saying.
Sure. All right, so he's getting back right there. Ned, what would you like the world to know? If you can spell something out for us, let us know what you want to tell us. We have a lot of skeptics, not who's watching now, but all over the world, that frankly do not believe that aliens actually do exist. So what would you like to tell anyone out there? What message do you have?
Just spell out the letter M.
M? That's a great question, Stephanie. A, as soon as we're done with this, I will definitely ask that question, because that's a great question. So we've got M and A so far with the question of what message do you have for us? R. Hello, Gina.
That's my sister.
All right. You got a cool sister, Gina. S.
Mars.
So we got M-A-R-S so far. I. S.
H.
H. O. So we have, just to recap, we have M-A-R-S-I-S-H. M. Is there an O in there?
Yeah.
Okay. This is very interesting. E. So if you all didn't get that, and I missed a letter in there, so what had happened is we've got, what message do you have for us? And he spelled out, Mars is home.
That's just awesome.
That is just absolutely incredible. Mars is home. So Stephanie, what planet did he come from? Mars. That's exactly where he came from. And so Stephanie also asked another question, Ned, if you wouldn't be so kind. Does anyone from your planet come to see you? Do they come and visit you?
Yes, they do.
Yes. Yes, they do. Ned, is it possible that they will come tonight? We've heard some stories that if we look up in the night sky, or, in the middle of the night, that we may see some lights. Will we be able to see any of your family or friends tonight? Yes. So, everyone watching, this is groundbreaking, and this is absolutely amazing.
What's also interesting is most people use a pendulum with their dominant hand because they get better responses. I switched it up because my right arm got tired and it's still moving just as easily as it does.
Right.
So it's connected with something here.
Absolutely.
Any more questions?
Any more questions from the group? Anyone have anything?
So it looks like Ned might have a question. Sorry, I gotta move Andromeda over so I can see better. All right, because as promised, Andromeda's here.
There she is.
She is part of the team. All right, Ned, do you have a question for somebody that's watching? Yes. Who is your question for? S? T?
T. So we got S and T. And Jessica, that is a fantastic question. We will definitely ask that as soon as Ned is finished asking his question.
E?
E. So we got S, T, E. F. Think we know where this is going.
I think we do. And spelling it correctly, which is fascinating. S.
F.
N.
N. So Jessica, that noise, there's a lot of cicadas up in the tree, but if you heard like a rumble, that was a truck that was driving by right outside, a large diesel truck.
That's indicating the end of the word, which is Stephanie.
All right, Stephanie. So Stephanie, we have got a question here for you. All right, here we go. Ned, we are ready.
Well, he started.
Oh, he's going. Okay.
A.
A.
R.
R.
E.
E. So we got R.
Y.
Y.
O.
O.
U.
U. So we got RU. A.
I think that's making our announcement. W.
W. I.
N.
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 N. Oh my gosh.
There's a reason I've been grinning for the last like 2 or 3
I
letters.
wouldn't even get it until right now. So hold on, Stephanie.
E.
E. So we got R-U-A, and then we got W-I-N-N-E.
R.
R. Are you a winner? All right, unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, Sharon, before we answer that of what that actually meant, George has a question. Maybe you can give a better answer to this. He said, just curious, where are these letters coming from?
Okay, so when I hold the pendulum, it spells kind of in capital letters for me. I'm just going to show the letter S because that's one of the interesting ones. And you see how it circles one way, like the top of the S, and then it will pause, and it gives the hook at the bottom. So it was me using it with a lot of practice and figuring out how to make it work, and also me instructing on how to make it clear what letter is what. And so at the end of a sentence or a word, I ask that it goes counterclockwise, just like that.
So, George, hope that helped. So going back to that answer of are you a winner, Stephanie, before we began our investigation this evening, Sharon had posted that we were going to select a winner for when we reached 100 followers. And Devin, our team member, actually chose your name about 5 o'clock this evening. So your name was selected as the winner. And here Ned just asked, are you a winner?
That's so cool.
So that is absolutely amazing of what's actually been going on here. So Stephanie, we will get with you later on messaging and let you know what work at all the logistics and everything like that for your prize. So congratulations on that. Deanna, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Share this post with everyone and as many people as you can. We are really capturing some amazing information, and what we do is we debunk what needs to be debunked. Everything that you see is what we do. And so really share this. Close Encounters Paranormal. Yes, Jessica, this is absolutely awesome. And I want to ask your question. If we could ask Ned another question, which this is actually a great question that probably a lot of folks will want to know. So she asked, Ned, thank you so much for talking with us tonight. We have another question, and that is that she has read, and I know a lot of us have heard this, that in Egypt, it is said that God is actually an alien. Is this true?
He says yes.
All right. He said it is absolutely true that God is an alien. And I know that we've got some folks that are probably going, whoa, that's crazy. And all we do is report the facts. So this is exactly what's happening. So for all our viewers that are out here right now that just joined, just a little recap once again, because we got some new folks that have joined, is that we are in the Aurora Cemetery in Aurora, Texas. And once again, the story 1897, what you're looking at here is it was reported that an alien UFO actually did crash here and was buried. So using this pendulum, using our audio devices and things alike, we did determine that yes, Ned actually, which is a name that the locals gave him back in 1897, that he did crash here, he is buried here, and that his craft is currently in Roswell, which is where a lot of those crafts actually ended up because of all the cover-ups and just for public awareness. So that's exactly what we have. We've had some really good, intelligent conversations. So any other questions that you have, that's the thing. We are going live. All right. Stephanie is our winner for this evening, and she actually does another question that says, Ned, what actually caused you to crash?
Good question.
That is a good question.
So going back to George's question, I also have a bird's eye view, so I get to see what it's drawing. So that's partially how that helps.
Right.
So the first letter is W.
W.
I.
I. N.
B.
D. So we've got, he's not done. He's not done yet, but it's got wind so far.
G.
G.
U.
U. S.
T.
T. So we've got wind gust. Wind gust is what actually caused him to crash back in 1897. Thank you, Ned, so much for talking with us tonight. And we're sorry for bombarding with all these questions, but I'm sure you're actually happy to actually be able to communicate with someone again. So we do have another, Jessica's coming up with some great questions, and we're going to get to Stephanie for another one. So Jessica says, do celestial energy and aliens go hand in hand?
Yes.
Yes. And Jessica says, thank you, Ned, for sharing your story and to get this out here and to answer some of these very difficult questions that a lot of folks have. And you're actually shedding some light on some of them.
And we're getting a very strong yes, so I think that's you're welcome.
You're welcome. I think I would agree with that. Stephanie also has another question that says, Ned, were you the only craft that night? Yes. Okay. And Ned, you came from Mars, right? So earlier, for those who didn't join us, he did say that Mars is home, and that's where he's from, and he's nodding yes once again. That's a great question too. We've got one here that says, were you the only one in the craft that night?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And I want to ask a question actually, because the locals, they named him Ned, and that was just because of just a name that they gave him just for something familiar, because he probably didn't speak English. So I've got a question. Ned, could you spell out your real name?
Yes.
Yes.
Please go ahead. W.
W. I.
D.
D.
N.
N.
A.
A.
R.
R.
That's the end of it.
Widnar. Is that correct?
Oh, hang on, let me get it. Sorry, I had to shift. My arm's getting tired.
Widnar?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Widnar.
You're welcome.
So guys, this is absolutely amazing. You know, please share. Let you know, all of your friends, family know what we're doing. This is Close Encounters Paranormal. After capturing that astonishing evidence, we wanted to take it a step further and see if we could capture Widnar on camera. What you are about to see next is Widnar showing himself on our SLS camera. You don't have to be scared. We ask that you showed yourself to us, and we appreciate that so much that you have no idea.
He's waving to us.
Everyone, can you see that? Please share. Let folks know the communication we have had with Widnar this evening, which truly is groundbreaking, and now we are seeing him on the SLS camera.
So to put it in perspective, everybody, we are all standing together nowhere near that stone, and we are the only ones in this cemetery right now. You are seeing evidence that nobody else has captured. A sentient being from another planet who has identified himself as Widnar from Mars, who just showed himself on the SLS. Thank you, Widnar, for showing yourself to us. And Stephanie says, yes, we thank you.
Yes, thank you. And that's from all of your fans, Widnar. So is it all? And like I said, I hate to ask you again, but could you show yourself one more time for us, just briefly?
Thank you, Angie. We love this too. This is why we do this. And Trixie says, thank you for showing yourself, Widnar.
Widnar, can you show yourself one more time, just briefly? I know it probably takes a lot of energy to do so.
There he is.
There he is. Thank you. Widnar, you are amazing. Thank you so much, Widnar.
Stephanie says thank you again. We thank you, Widnar.
Thank you. And I am not going to ask to show yourself again. You've been more than generous with that, and so I want to thank you from all of us, and that's from everyone watching and who will watch
this groundbreaking evidence.
So Widnar, I want you to hear this. There he is again.
Yes.
So Widnar, Stephanie says, I'm sorry you were mistreated. And Trixie says, what an honor to see you. And we couldn't agree more. He's coming toward us.
He's walking towards us. He's slowly crawling. You can make out his, and I know you all can see this, you see his legs. He's like leaning against the rock with his legs stretched outwards.
He's crawling toward us.
Widnar, thank you. You're more than happy to come and touch us, stand near us, communicate with us, anything at all. We are here for you.
He feels safe. We agree, Stephanie.
Widnar, you're amazing. We see you. We actually see you. And we're probably, I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say at least a 90% chance. And because based on the investigations that have been done here, no one has been able to communicate the way we have, or especially catch him on film with this SLS camera.
And Trixie says he trusts y'all. And we think so. That's one thing that we at Close Encounters Paranormal insist upon, is showing all of these beings the utmost respect. And you are the first he has spoken to. We believe so, Stephanie, because I think that we're the first to take the time to recognize that he has a different language than us and find a way that he could communicate.
We at Close Encounters Paranormal believe we have solved the mystery of the alien spacecraft that once flew over the skies of Aurora, Texas. Thank you all for watching. Please share and continue to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Close Encounters Paranormal.